Hello, I'm Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Saying. Here at one of my favorite spots, the barbershop, where we know if you're gonna complain here, then you better provide solutions.
Good.
It's good. I firmly believe when we make other people's problems part of our conversations without providing solutions or prayer, then we become part of the problem. I want to be able to provide people with a platform where they can freely express their views on such topics as education, social issues, health and fitness. And that's good. Or sports. So please join me so we can complain and provide solutions together. What's up, peoples? This is your man, Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Saying. And this is actually September 16th. This is my first day of being selected to participate in the Citizens Police Academy here in Charles County, Maryland, actually in La Plata. And I feel honored and blessed to attend this class. Although I'm mainly familiar with what the police does, I primarily wanted to do it because, how can I say it? In every organization or in everything in which we do, there's always a good and bad. And yes, there are bad cops, but a vast majority are good. Yes, you have bad doctors, but a vast majority are good. Yes, you have bad teachers, but a vast majority are good. You have bad people in the military, but a vast majority are good. What I'm saying is that you have bad apples in every organization, but if you can't necessarily take those bad apples and paint the picture for a whole department. But if you're a good cop or a good teacher or a good doctor, whatever, and you know that person is bad and you take a blind eye, in my mind, you're just as bad. But whole purpose of me being here is to really understand what our sheriff's department goes through somewhat on a daily basis, but also be part of the solution. There are a lot of people that complain, but they don't have these candid conversations with the sheriff's department, with the sheriff. Everything is centered around what's going on in the news. And I live in Charles County, so I have to take a vested interest in where my tax dollars go, because my tax dollars goes to pay their salary and whatever they need to not only make us safe, but make them safe. So, like I said, this is my first day of 12 weeks. And after tonight's class, I'll give you a summary of what I learned. And then I'll be back next week to talk about what I learned in week 2 and so forth. And what I'm hoping to get out of this is a much deeper appreciation for what law enforcement does, but also for myself, because a lot of us are quick to criticize, and I don't criticize unless I can put myself in their shoes. But I'm not a police officer, someone who has a little bit of law enforcement background, but I'm not a police officer. I'm a citizen that is trying to make my community better one day at a time. So, see you after class. Peace and blessings. What's going on, peoples? This is Derek Terry, and I'm back. And I am back to give you week 1 through week 6, if I can remember them by memory, of the Citizens Police Academy. I was supposed to do it week by week. I forgot, so I'm going to go ahead and just lump it up in this one video. So week one, well, first it will start. We got a nice introduction and greeting from Sheriff Berry, who definitely welcomed all of my fellow classmates to week one of the Citizens Police Academy, and how it came about and the real purpose behind it. And what I will say, it gives us an opportunity to see what they do, but they'll also ask the tough questions, and they answer. I will say that there has not been a question that's not been answered. We may not necessarily always agreed, but they answered. That I will say. So pretty much week one was the history of the Sheriff's Department, as well as the history of police as a whole, and some terminology and how it came about. And some of it I knew through my teachings and me teaching, and some of it I didn't know. So hey, I'm always willing and ready to learn. Week two, we went to special units, went to a satellite site, which I believe is somewhere near the school board. And let's see if I can remember the units. We got to see hear from these individuals that are in these specialized departments or units, SWAT, amphibious, the community police, motorcycle, drone. I think that's all of them. If I missed one, I apologize. But we got to speak with them and discuss the type of training they go through, what their job entails, and also look at the equipment and pretty much see how our tax dollars are being spent. So that's always a plus. Week three, I am sitting here trying to think what we did for week three, and I cannot remember. But I want to say it was traffic law. Yeah, I think it was traffic law. And we had this book about like this thick, where I can tell you right now that there's no way in the world that the Sheriff Department or any police department enforces all those traffic laws. It's nearly impossible. So to some degree, we're getting away with a lot of stuff, but it is still good to know the laws and know, you know, why you're getting pulled over and things of that nature. So that was sort of like our traffic law course, which I believe was pretty good. Week four, trying to think what we did week four. Week four, I forgot, so we'll come back to that. I know week four we went to the correctional facility. My bad. We went to correctional facility week four, and we got an insight of what the correctional officers do on a daily basis. Also, the many programs that are offered to the inmates. Contrary to popular belief, the inmates are only there from a maximum of about 18 months, and I think the capacity is about 300, but there was less than 50% inmates there. Some were due to COVID, and some were due to, you know, they're just not there. So it's not like they're looking to fill it up. But we got a tour of the facility. We didn't get a chance to speak or meet with any inmates, but we did see jail cells that were not being used, and I have no desire to go to jail. Hopefully nobody has any desire to go to jail, but and if you do, yeah, that it's not it doesn't look fun, I can tell you that. So but it did open up some people's eyes, open up my eyes again, because I've taken a tour before, but it's just to sit there and think, you know, if you're there for 18 months, this is your life. Some people are there for life. So kudos to them as far as the tour. And do your research. There's a lot of programs that they offer to the inmates to try to rehabilitate them. So I would say, you know, rather than assuming that they don't do anything, get to find out, arrange a tour, arrange to speak with someone so you can see what they actually offer at the Charles County Correctional Facility. Week five, simulation, and we working on lawful force. That's probably one of the most intense courses or weeks that we had, because we really talked about you know, just a lot of the current events that are going on, and we also put ourselves in the sheriff's shoes, meaning that there was two scenarios that we had. The first scenario, well, actually it was four, but I think I did two. There's four different types, but I did two of the types. And the first one I did, a car was being stopped, bad tag. The individual gingerly got out of the car. He was cussing. So I walked to the other side. I happened to see the gun, but I also saw an individual that was in the car. And what do? And I can tell you that I did everything right, and shooting that individual was the appropriate thing to do for that particular incident. Now, of course, people will say, oh, no, it wasn't. You weren't there. You didn't see the whole situation. I'm telling you, it was either that or I've been shot. But luckily for everyone, that was just a scenario. It wasn't real life, but these are some of the real life things that police and, well, you know, anyone that will go through when they're making a traffic stop. Not to say that, you know, there's some unjustified ones there, but we're talking about things that are justified. And, you know, how do you react if you put yourself in that situation? And then the other one, I won't go into that one. That one, I had to shoot a female. And because the female repeated requests to put the gun down. She told me, oh, it's just a toy. I don't know that. You know, if you tell a person to put a gun down, they really got to put it down, because there's no way in the world that I know it's a toy. So that was, you know, for me, I hesitated to a degree, but it was either me or her. Once again, it's a scenario, it wasn't real life. I'm not a cop, so I'm just glad I'm not put in that situation. And then we got tased. So for those who wanted to volunteer to tase, which I was one of them, I got tased. I can tell you it was painful. I'll be showing it. So some of you will be like, wow, woo. And some of you will probably laugh. Forget y'all for the ones who are going to laugh. I guarantee you, I don't care how strong you think you are, if the tase is done right, you will either be hollering much louder than me, or you be crying or whatever. I'm just telling you, it's no joke. Lastly, week six, we had a in-depth conversation with Internal Affairs, who told us what they do as far as investigating complaints and instances of officers who've been brought up on complaints, and the process as far as their rights and the citizens' rights and things of that nature. So that was a nice course, well, instruction. And we also got a tour of the facility of District 3, and we also got an opportunity to speak, and I can't remember her name, but a young lady who gave us a lesson on surveillance and the types of surveillance that they do, and why and how it's critical to an investigation, meaning that you may see something from one camera and think, oh, guilty, innocent, whatever it may be, but there could be 2 or 3 other cameras out there. You know, even at my house, I got 4 cameras, so I'm going to see you from every different angle. But in this particular case, just like with the police, when they do the investigation, you got to have multiple cameras, and some of the stuff is case closed, as it should be. But we've learned that you can have 4 or 5 different cameras, and you may have a judge or a jury that may see it a different way. So that's neither here or there, but this particular class was strictly on the surveillance. So with that, I'm going to get ready to go, and I will be back 6 weeks from now to show you the graduation. Enjoy the photos and the video. Until then, peace and blessings. Here at the Citizen Police Academy, looking at them fly the drone, which they use to multiple things, for missing persons. They also use to, stake out, well, not stake out, but if they have a warrant or something, they need to look at the house and all the other stuff prior to. When they had the protest, just to make sure that everything was going okay. And this is about 200 feet away.
That's not very high, and it's not very
cool.
far.
A lot of stuff going on out here.
All right, we're ready?
I have to.
Relax your fingers. Relax your fingers.
He's gonna preemptively.
What if my hands are sweating?
It's okay. Your hands aren't gonna be
Catch
affected.
her on fire. Don't worry about it.
All right, you ready? All right, taser, taser, taser.
Yeah, I came back real quick because I know somebody out there is laughing at that video. I saved it for last just to see who would laugh. So if you're laughing, you need Jesus. But anyways, I wasn't seriously hurt, but hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Peace and blessings.
Blaze the path.